Sorry about the jinx. Are you angry at me?
No, it's all good.
Leaf Nation, take it easy on me.
Hi! Victory Puppy! Plan the parade!
I have no idea what I'm doing.
God to the riches of Leaf! This team is ruining my life! Leafs lose 3-2 in overtime to the Vancouver Canucks in the most humiliating way possible, because that is the only way the Toronto Maple Leafs know how to lose. In case any of you were still wondering why I landed on this title. Can you point me to the saddest part of this title? Can you? It's this one. Like, the NHL can't possibly be rigged. Because if it were, I'd like to think they'd be a little bit more subtle about it. Like, alright, we gotta rig this game against the Leafs. How should we script it? Okay, how about this? The Leafs are up 2-0. Ooh, they're gonna blow a lead. On brand, I like it. Well, that's just the thing, sir. They're 32-0 when heading into the third period with a lead this season. Drats, wait, no, that's good. It is? We'll get Dan Murphy to say it to one of the Leafs at second intermission. Of course, Dan Murphy, our West Coast spy. Who should he say it to? Ron Hainsey. I can't explain why that's funny, but it is. Alright, who scores the first goal? Louis Eriksson. Okay, he's on a huge slump. For his 69th point as a Canuck, the sex number, alright. Assisted by Luke Shen. And the former Leaf angle, bang on perfect. You know how many people are gonna learn that he's still in the NHL because he got an assist here? And it's his first point as a Canuck. God, you're good. Okay, that's the first goal. Man, we used a lot of good material on that one. Are we out? We still have our best joke left. What could that be? Josh Levo game-tying goal. Brilliant! I want to kiss you on the mouth! And you can, but not until we plan the perfect overtime winner. Which is Alex Edler. It's not as good as I was hoping, isn't it, sir? Number 2-3 wins it 2-3 for Vancouver in overtime. 3-2 for Vancouver. 3-2 used to be Josh Levo's number as a Leaf. Okay. The Leaf streak of being undefeated heading into the third period with the lead ends at 32-3-2. Okay, that's good enough. We got a hit. No. Sir? We are not done making Leafs fans suffer. My God, what could possibly be worse? Alex Edler is the last remaining Canuck from the 2008-2009 season when they had Matt Sundin. Oh my God! All of that would be perfectly believable. It would be a little too on the nose if the NHL was scripted. But it's not scripted. This is just the everyday, unending misery that it is being a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Money in the bank that Josh Levo was gonna score, Peter Holland was gonna score, Matt Sundin was gonna score. This is just what happens. Except it's not supposed to happen anymore, but here it is. How do you lose a game where you got a shorthanded 2-on-1 goal from Ron Hainsey and a snipe from Morgan Rielly? This team's new identity is not showing up in the first and then turning it on for 5 minutes in the second and somehow riding that to a win. The only bit of comfort I take from this game is that there are no more loser points. There's no more overtime points and shootout points, and well, at least we got that far. Leafs fans have had a playoff mentality all season long. They don't care about the pity point anymore. It's just wins and losses. They lost. Canucks fans, if I were you, I would be loud about this because it is a little on the nose. It's a little bit too perfect. And after all, it was a rivalry game. You know, the Canucks' historic rivalry with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Always love sticking it to them. Do Coyotes fans act this way when the Rangers come to town? It's a bit of a Mad Men relationship. I feel bad for you. I don't think about you at all. But maybe it is that exact mentality that makes it extra special when the Canucks beat the Leafs, which they always bloody seem to do, especially in Vancouver. I do want to talk about one thing though. Canucks fans and Leafs fans, alright? I'm going to talk about it real quick and then leave it alone. Ted Lindsay passed away, and Ted Lindsay is a great example of why, you know, hockey's going in a fun direction. It's, I think, more fun to watch than ever before, but you should brush up on your history. Ted Lindsay is an enormous part of hockey's history, setting up a players' union, fighting for what he believes in. He boycotted his own Hockey Hall of Fame ceremony because it was policy at the time to not allow your significant other or family to come. And often you'll hear the term the right side of history, and I try to think about the things that were said about Ted Lindsay in the 60s when he made that stand. Do you think they were nice? You want to bet? I don't, but it didn't matter because he was right, and decades have proved how right right he was. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, and there is a reason why the trophy for the MVP of the season, as voted on by the players, is named after Ted Lindsay. So it would make sense that there would be a moment of silence in this all-Canadian matchup between the Vancouver Canucks and the Toronto Maple Leafs for Ted Lindsay. And what I heard on national television during what was supposed to be a moment of silence was screaming! And what ensued was one of the worst, most insufferable pissing contests I have ever seen in the history of Twitter.com. Do you know the pantheon, the Mount Rushmore of awfulness that website holds? Typical Leafs fans! Oh, what do you expect? It's Vancouver. Let me just play the audio for you, okay? I heard Leafs suck, shut up, and go Leafs. Leafs fans and Canucks fans alike, if you involved yourself in this high and mighty little pat on the back contest, you get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir, you absolute chode. Leafs fans, I thought we just had a conversation about not painting all fans with the same brush after the John Tavares thing last week. And Canucks fans, I would hope that you would remember why it is not wise to paint all fans of a certain fan base with the same brush. If you said Leafs suck, if you said go Leafs, even if you said shut up, though well-meaning, all of you stink! It's called a moment of silence! Can you shut up for 10 seconds? There is a national conversation today about how much of a chode you are. Do you understand that? Do you know how much you need to shut up when Steve Dangle is telling you to pipe down? I know most of the fans were disgusted by that behavior. I got lots of tweets from people who were actually at the game. And if you feel bad for the fans that were sitting next to those loudmouths during the game, just remember, someone is working next to them this morning. So if any of the dudes, it's always dudes, who were involved in the incident happen to be watching this, I hope you learned. I'm optimistic that you will. Optimism is all I have. Look at who I cheer for. Last thing, this is obviously a very different video, but the fourth line of 5'9" guys, and one of whom is 5'10", Mike Babcock instantly hated it, which is so on brand. To begrudgingly try something for exactly 5 seconds, put it in a position to fail, and then go, look how smart I am when it does. Awful. I didn't think they were awesome, but I hope to see it again, though. Down the stretch, the Leafs don't have a ton of playoff teams that they have to face coming up. Goat should get in there because he hasn't earned a scratch, and Patan should get in there because you got the guy, so why not? But Tyler Ennis, Trevor Moore, both of them full send every shift. They look great. The main piece of criticism I would offer for putting that fourth line together at all, why against Vancouver after Ennis puts up a hat trick? That fourth line had its best game of the season. Dude, do it against Edmonton or something. That's just my 2 cents. Questions. Would you rather fight one Gauthier-sized Nick Patan or 100 Nick Patan-sized Freddie Gauthiers? Alright, well, one of them would be an adult male who's 6'5", 230. I'd have a pretty bad chance against them. But the other option is 100 guys who are only an inch and a half shorter than I am. I'll take the one Gauthier-sized Patan, thanks. So, now do people understand how important players like Kadri, Dermott, and yes, Gardner are to this team? Riley, Hainsey, Muzzin, Zaitsev were all around 24 minutes. Marincin 13, Hall 10. Yikes. Man, I want to cheer for Marincin and I want to cheer for Hall. And there were so many times throughout this game where I saw Zaitsev on the ice and I was like, oh my gosh, this player is playing way too much. And then that third pair would get on the ice and I'm like, Madre de Dios, get Zaitsev back on the ice. Like, I know a lot of Leafs fans just blindly associate Gardner with blowing leads, but dude, they were 32-0. Dermott too, and that guy's full send every shift, and sometimes it gets him into trouble. He's a better option than what they have. Marincin is good at a few things. It ain't handling the puck, man. It just drives me nuts. And Justin Hall, this isn't the first time that Mike Babcock has done this. He did not play this player to the point where he became an option you can't even use. Maybe that's unfair because he had a good night the other night, but this is night 4 of the season for him. That's absurd. To be forced to trade a player like Josh Levo for this. And Michael Carcone or Carzone or whatever, he's been good on the Marlies. The Leafs got him for Levo, whatever. But it's to the point where if you were to waive Hall, who's going to claim him? The Leafs just re-signed Andreas Borgman. That's encouraging. He's got lots of tools. He's been injured way too often. Hopefully he can play out the rest of this season, have a healthy first half to next season, and then make the jump to the Leafs. In the meantime, Callie Rosen, my goodness, ice it, whatever you gotta do, get better and get on this roster. Have you ever thought about the Stanley Cup winning LFR? Yes. Not a question, but rate my Freddy. Not a rating, but a descriptive word. How's this? Prince-like. Why does Nylander make $7 million? A better question is, with the way that Nylander has played recently, why does Babcock play him like he's making $700,000? Gosh, when Kadri gets back, I would love to see Kapanen on the left, Matthews in the middle, Nylander on the right. At this point, I'm not sure how you can still watch Nylander and be like, oh yeah, there's the problem for sure. Don't turn on this team and its players now. Are you in? Hey, before we go, got a couple more book dates. Brian 5 or 6, get ready, because I'm coming to Ottawa, Canada on March 29th at Chapters Rideau at 4 p.m. Bring Larry. And on Sunday, March 31st, St. Catharines, I'm coming for you. Coles Penn Center at 2 p.m. So if you're from St. Catharines or the surrounding area, maybe even Buffalo, I'd be happy to see you there. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends why I call the book this.